त्वष्टिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। सरस्वत्यै नमो नित्यं भद्रकाल्यै नमो नमः। वेद वेदांग विद्यास्थानेभ्यैव च सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यम् केशवं बादरायणम् सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारम् शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषम् पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकतातं तपोनिधिम्। व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। अचतुर्वदनो ब्रह्मा द्विबाहुरपरो हरिः अभाललोचनः शम्भुः भगवान् बादरायणः। भगवान् बादरायणः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। If you remember, we had started the Adhyaas Bhashya and completed also the Adhyaas Bhashya. As I had told, I will take the Brahmasutra, the main things of each sutra I want to take, and I will indicate the important portions of the Bhashya rather than going word by word. So let us now see the Adhyaas Bhashya. If you have written your notes, so evam ayam anadi anantah, see the Bhashya, page 26. Page 26 of the Bhashya, first line. Evam ayam anadi anantah naisargiko adhyasah मिथ्या प्रत्यय रूप कर्तृत्व भोक्तृत्व प्रवर्तक सर्वलोक प्रत्यक्षः. The first line. So I had discussed in detail about the Adhyaas, if you remember. So the outside dukkha, I am just trying to summarize in few lines, and then I want to come to the first sutra. See, the dukkha which is experienced in the outside world is because of the bhoktritva in us. So the dissatisfied bhokta expresses as dukkha, and the satisfied bhokta expresses as the sukh in our life. So because of the adhyas, the Chetan cannot have the kartrutva and bhoktritva in its nature. What was proved in Adhyaas Bhas was this only, that Adhyas is not a sambhavana. Adhyas is not a possibility. So, why you are saying Adhyas is not a possibility? So it was said, Atmanaha Satchit Amshascha Buddhir Vritti iti Dvayam Sanyojya cha avivekena janami iti pravartate. This is the shloka of Atmabodh. So from the Satchit Amsh of the self and the vritti of the buddhi. So aham idam janami. This is called first adhyas, pramatru abhyas. Moment I become pramata. Aham idam janami. Please got this mind. Aham idam janami. Actually speaking, the adhyas is not possible because aham is nirvikar, it is chetan, it is sarvavyapi, it is purna. That is what was established. You go through it. Try to go through your notes. Best is if you can go through some lines of Bhashya, but I am trying to simplify the Bhashya and put it in a form which is easily understood in English. So it was mentioned that the adhyas is the mixing of the aham and the buddhi vritti. So first adhyas is called pramata adhyas or pramatru adhyas. And after the pramatru adhyas, don't write abhyas, adhyas. Swami Abhedananda wrote one book in Vedanta and he gave it for printing. So proofreading was going on. So the proofreader was a simple person. He was not a Vedantic person. Everywhere, wherever adhyas was written, he cut and made it abhyas, because he has not heard this word. So this is abhyas. This is not abhyas. This is adhyas. Atasmin tad buddhi iti adhyas. 3-4 definitions I had given. I'll touch upon it again, but try to go back and read certain things. So from this pramatru adhyas, pramatru adhyas means ahamidam janami. So how this pramatru adhyas comes up? By the false mixing of the atma with the antahkaran. So this pramatru adhyas flows through the sense organ and then it falls and becomes indriya adhyas. What is indriya adhyas? I am blind, I am dull, I am dumb. This is called indriya adhyas. This indriya adhyas trickles down at the sharir level and that comes as I am tall, I am short. So first is pramatru adhyas, second is indriya adhyas, Third is Sharira Adhyas. So I am Stri, I am Purush, I am black, I am white. One point to be noted is nobody feels I am body. He feels I am Manushya. This is called Dharmadhyas. You are not saying I am body. So body is not superimposed on the self. The dharma of the body is superimposed on the self, and this is called Dharmadhyas. Got the difference? Nobody feels I am body. I feel I am tall, I am short, I am dark, I am fair. This is called Dharmadhyas. So a lot of Adhyas is there, Sansarga Adhyas, Dharmadhyas. So we will get familiar with that. So first level Adhyas was Pramatra Adhyas. Second level Adhyas is Indriya Adhyas. Third level Adhyas is Sharira Adhyas or Deha Adhyas, Aham Sthula. And fourth level Adhyas is called Sambandha Adhyas. Then I say, this is my book, this is my table, this is my son. So all this is called now, because Atma is of the nature of Purnata. Atma is Purna. So this Purnata, it tries to get through the outside world, and therefore it tries to expand its false I and false my. So ordinary person is in, please see, ordinary person, they are just in the project of increasing their adhyas. So what is the project? I want a son. That means you want someone whom you can say my completely. This is a joy, and they are very happy to say. Or I want a wife, so that whom I can say my. So that means the whole life is meant to substantiate some kind of adhyas. And when this adhyas is not substantiated by the prarabdha or by any way, then dukh is there. Aham is not getting the idam through which it can feel bigger. This is called sorrow. Aham, false aham, pramata aham, is not getting some idam through which it can feel that I am bigger, I am better. So this constitutes the samsara. So finite I running after finite this. Parichin aham, having the ichha of parichin idam, with the delusion that I will become a parichin aham with the idam, this is called samsara. Okay? Parichinnam, finite I, running after the parichin idam, with the conviction that one day I will get some idam through which I will become a parichin aham. These words aparichin etc. you have to get familiar with. And it runs and runs after one after another thing, and alas, he fails in his effort. He feels the aham is itself only parichin only. Alexander, after conquering the world, his aham was same as before he had conquered. Swami Sharananand used to say that even after doing something and getting something, after a time being you will find your status of I is as you did not have that thing. Again I will repeat. I put effort and I got certain job, house thing. 10 years I invested to get a house. But before I got a house, now if I sit quietly, there is no sense that my problems are solved now. I have got a final solution now. Really, I have become bigger now, and nobody can make me smaller now. The state of I, which was before getting an object or a post, is same as after getting, and this is the cause of the dispassion from the idam. And because of this rush in all the scriptures, Ichha Nivritti is mentioned as the one sign of knowledge. That is called Ling of knowledge. Ling means sign through which you are able to know how the knowledge is there. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan pas manogatan. So, this is called Ichha Nivritti. Yada sarve pramuchante kamasye hriday shrataha. Kathopanishad says. Atha martyamrito bhavati. Because now he does not want an object, because there is no one. Atmanam chet vijaniyat ayam asmiti purusha kimichan kasya kamaya shariram anusanjvaret. You have heard this in Panchdashi. Bradaranyak mantra is there. So this adhyas, this conviction of finite I, see what the convictions are there. Finite, my I is finite, world is also finite, and through the worldly object I can make my finite I infinite or bigger, and I can get the solution. So this Bhashyakar says this is called Naisargikaha Adhyasaha Mithya Pratyaya Rupaha Kartrut Bhoktrut Pravartakaha Sarvalok Pratyakshaha. So this is well known that this Adhyas is the cause of somebody's problem. Next line of the Bhashya you say, I think you must have underlined that, Asya Anartha Hetoho. As means Adhyasasya. This Adhyas, which is the cause of anarth, means calamities. Because Prarabdha is there, so Prarabdha may be of accident, Prarabdha may be of bereavement, Prarabdha may be of cancer, Prarabdha may be of 100 things. Asya anarth hetoho, Shri is there, prahanaya. Prahanaya means for removal of that. For removal of that, prahanaya. Asya anartha hetoho adhyasasya prahanaya. Prahanaya means what? Removal of this adhyas. What you are going to do now? I'm not going to go through Adhyaas Bhashya. Please go through it. Beautiful Bhashya is there. And if you have love for this, they do Bhashya Parayan also. So you can just read one page of Brahmasutra every day. Bhashya, Bhashya, you read one page, 2 pages. So what is written? Asya anartha hetoho. Why anartha? Because inside it creates ichha, outside prarabdha. So we are crushed between our nature and prarabdha. Prarabdha is also there from outside. Prarabdha is my own karma fructifying, and my desires are also there. My incompleteness is also there. Somebody is crying, somebody is wailing, somebody is weeping. This is world is there. So asya anartha hetoho prahanaya. Prahanaya means what? For nash, for killing of that, for nash. Atma ekat vidya pratipatte sarve vedanta arabhyante. I think this was underlined. That now how does this adhyas is removed? So adhyas is the product and the cause also. The adhyas is the cause of all the calamities. But adhyas itself is the product of ignorance only. Okay. So since error is regarding, and Sarve Vedanta, Vedanta means Upanishad. Vedanto nam Upanishad Pramanam. Okay. There are three words are there. One is called Vedanta, other is called Vedanta and Shastra, and third is called Prakarana Grantha. So when Vedant word is used, strictly speaking, Vedant is used only for Upanishad. And when Shastra, Vedant Shastra word is used, I'm talking of technically, then Shastra is that in which all 7 factors are there. Adhikari, Gurupsatti, then Vishay, then Tattvam Pad Aikyam, 4 हो गया, then Virod, then Parihar, then Phalam, हो गया 7. Adhikari, then Vishay, Adhikari, Gurupsatti, Vishay, Tattvam Padaikyam, then Virod, Parihar and Phalam. That which has these 7 factors is called Shastram. Okay. Generally you say Vedant Shastra means Upanishad, but very strictly speaking Vedant means Upanishad. 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 Okay. And then what is Prakarana Granth? Shastraikadek Sambandha. Prakarana Mahu. Itna yaad kar lo. Don't remember whole thing. But at least remember that which is associated with one aspect of the 7 parts. It can be Tattvam, it can be on Virod, it can be on Adhikari. So, but one which has all 7 is called Shastram. Okay. Brahmasutra is Shastram. Vivekudamani is Shastram. Okay. Atmabodh Prakarana. Tattvabodh Shastram. Because all 7 factors are there. Drigdishvivek Prakarana. Just going technical. In general, they can say in Vedanta, this is said here. Okay. It has everything now. Bhagavad Gita, Shastra. All is coming there. Okay. So 3 things you have keep in mind. I'm repeating it. I must have told in some aspect. Okay. So Brahma Sutra will not be only called Vedanta. It will be called Vedanta Shastra. Strictly speaking, Brahma Sutra will not be only called Vedanta. I'm not saying Brahma Sutra doesn't have Vedanta. I'm saying Brahma Sutra will be called Vedanta Shastram because in which all the aspects are covered. Now, what is there? Yatha ayam artha sarvesham Vedantanam. So, whatever is mentioned in all the Vedantanam means Upanishadam, in all the Upanishad, tatha vayam. Vayam means Bhashyakar. Asyam sharirak mimansayam. Sharirak, this is called Adhyaas, is called sharirak. Sharirak. See the word here. Sharira Granth is written. Shariram eva sharirakam. I think I must have made you underline. 3rd line you see. Kutsikatvat. Because it is abhorred. Tannivasi sharirika. One who resides in this body as self is called sharirak. Jiva tasya brahma vichara mimansa. Mimansa, what is meaning of Mimansa? Pujit vichara. What is adored thought is called Mimamsa. Like Dharmimansa, Brahmimansa. So, Mimamsa. Mimamsa means adored inquiry. Adorable thought. Not any thought. Adorable thought. Now, I am now coming to this portion. So what is written here? Since Adhyas is the cause, so I am going to remove Adhyas now. How will you remove Adhyas? Adhyas will be removed only by the removal of ignorance, because the cause of Adhyas is centered on self. So error which is born out of self-ignorance. So what is an English word of Adhyas? Error. Error born out of self-ignorance. Ignorance not of the outer world. When I say outer world, so please see what is the typical point. Supposing I say I don't know mathematics. So the subject of ignorance, subject of ignorance is I, but the object of ignorance is mathematics. Okay? I don't know what? I don't know maths. When I don't know an outside object, the object of the ignorance, object is not the subject. The subject of ignorance is I, the object of ignorance is this. Okay? I don't know this. Subject is I, but the object is this. But when you say, I don't know I only, so the subject is also the I, the object is also the I. How can the same I be the subject and same I can be the object? This is what is tricky aspect. When object is ignorance, then it is easy to remove that. I can know the particular thing and that thing will be cleared. But when subject is also the ignorance, how can I know myself and not know myself? Because I know that I don't know. Then how can you know? How can you say I know myself and I don't know myself? देखो ध्यान देना. One thing understand, wherever it is the effect, there is the cause. When I say where is ornament, there alone will be the gold. It's not that ornament is somewhere, gold is somewhere. If ornament is there, effect, the gold also should be there where ornament is there. Okay. Wherever there is a pot, there is a mud. So wherever the effect is there, effect is pervaded by the cause. If the effect called dukh is experienced, dukh is not experienced in the thought, dukh is experienced in the aham. And therefore the cause of dukh also should be in the aham. If dukh was some object outside, then you could have perceived by the eyes that this is sorrow, 5 kgs, he has 5 kilograms sorrow in him. I purchased it. Anything objectified can be perceived by the senses. But dukh is also not in the thought also. Dukh is in the identification of the thought with the I and the experience of a very sidelined or contracted or neglected or lost I. This is the dukkham. So the dukh is in the I only. देखो, dukh is not in the thought also. Thought may be of loss of something, that this thing is lost. But after that, when you say it was my personal loss, then this is where dukh is there. You think of it, experience dukh without I. somewhere the dukh is experienced only when in the aham there is a feeling or the sense of contraction or a loss, then only dukh can be experienced. You cannot say this is a thought of sorrow, but I am not sorrow. This is only possible when you are disidentifying with your false ahankar. So dukh is of the ahankar. I have no problem. You can say yes. And ahankar is a vritti, you can say like that. Okay. Sakshi sarvanvita preyan aham naham kadachana parinama paritapa paricheda upaplavat. So aham dukhi, this experience you can see. But without aham dukhi, you cannot see the dukh without adding the ahankar into it. And therefore the source of the dukh or the cause of dukh also should be in the aham only. And in this aham, this is a veiled aham. So in aham there are two portions. One is unveiled aham and other is veiled aham. So one aspect of the aham is veiled, other aspect is unveiled. Remember when I had mentioned one many times, ignorance cannot be of something. Misunderstanding cannot be about something in which you have complete ignorance. These are very basic things I must have told many times. Totally you cannot have seen the rope on the snake if you have total darkness. You won't see at all the rope. There is no question I saw the snake on the rope. No, there should be partial perception of the rope and partially it was not known, therefore illusion is there. If I had not known myself completely, and therefore there is no question of the Adhyaas also. You don't misunderstand a person whom you don't know at all. You can misunderstand somebody only when you have little knowledge, I don't know what he is doing. Then only you can have misunderstanding. So all the objective science deal with objective ignorance. And they remove that objective ignorance to a certain extent. But the subjective Vedanta says that objective ignorance will not remain the dukkham because the dukh is in that I and the cause of the dukh is in the I. Therefore, how much you do circus outside and you change the world and you bring in any kind of technology and any kind of comfort or any kind of bhog in the outer world, it won't change that adhyas, and therefore your sorrow won't at all be removed. And the biggest proof is in Chandogya Upanishad 7th chapter where Naradji goes to Sanat Kumar and he gives a big list of his whole educational resume he gives, that I know astronomy, astrology, mathematics. And tathapi soham aham shochami. He said, even though I know everything, still my shok is there. And then he said, Bole shrutam etad shokam tarati atmit, shokam param tarayatu bhagavan. Please take me across this sorrow. And this is where the seeker gets dispassionate from the world. And this is how he is uninterested, because he is convinced that whatever I do, I may go to Brahmalok, I may go to America, I may go to I become billionaire or millionaire or trillionaire. But my problem will remain round and sound at the end of the day. And therefore, the topic which is important to know that aham asmi is not our knowledge. We add, between aham and asmi, we add something. देखो ध्यान देना. I say aham dukhi asmi, or aham sukhi asmi, aham manusho asmi, or aham pita asmi. This is called naimittika, not swabhavika. What do you mean naimittika? That aham dukhi because of some nimitta aham has become dukhi. Or I am pita because of some nimitta means some external factor or external cause I have become father. Or I have become happy because of some nimitta is there. In Vedanta, anything which is naimittik doesn't have any essence in it. It has to be swabhavik. Then only it will have any meaning. Well, he is very happy because his friend has come. So this happiness has no meaning because it will go away. Well, he is appearing very good because he has dressed very well. So that means moment he takes out his makeup, he will be the same. So that means he is not naturally beautiful. So in Vedanta they say anything which is naimittik is not the essential thing, and therefore it cannot be true. So when you add aham amuk asmi, aham pati asmi, pita asmi, mata asmi, so this was not there and then it came back, and therefore this knowledge is false because it is naimittik aham and not sahaj and swarup aham. You are not a born father. You are not a born husband. You are not a born student. You are not a born woman. Got the point? Not to remove that. To remove that. Which one? That has come between aham and asmi. Between aham and asmi, quite a space is there, and this is the source of all problem. We have given lot of space between aham and asmi. If I had said aham asmi, and you stop there and you say aham eva asmi, then it was Brahmagyan. I alone am. But I am not, aham api asmi is there. I am also there. I have a big scope of other things are also there. I am also there. That is called aham api asmi, but not aham eva asmi. And here is where all treatment is between aham and idam. So Vedanta is not treating aham and asmi portion. In between, to remove that aham jivosmi, then it introduces aham brahmasmi. And atmanaha brahmatvam agyatam. So agyan portion is brahmatva of the atma. And now gyan is of this brahma portion only. अहम जीवामी, देखो ये है पोर्शन हमारा. नेवर वी थिंक अहम अस्मि एव, वी थिंक अहम जीवामी. आई हैव पुट माई सेल्फ इन टू द मूवमेंट आई, मूविंग आई. When I say जीवामी, जीव is a verb. जीव is a verb to live. जीव is the dhatu. So when you say aham jivami, that means I am in a verbal, I am a movement. All verb indicates movement, walking, talking, eating, living. So living, when I say I am living, that means you have associated the moving I as your main I. I am living is a very, very, very common experience. An extremely false experience. I am living. If I am, you stop there, it was fine. I am, full stop. But don't add living there. But I have put, now what I said in Sanskrit, I am putting in English now. But I have now put, I am living now. Now this living has come. Now, moment you put verb, you have to say where you are living. Now, 7 vibhakti will come now. Karakas will come now. You are living. Then question will be there. Living for whom? Living from where you are coming. So, in I, to, by, for, from, of, in, all will come now. So I has become very constricted now. And the whole Vedantic attempt is to change this living to I am Brahman. And this is the attempt of Brahma Gyan, that I am not creating Brahman, I am claiming the real status. How? By removing the false status of that Brahman. Aham natu jivami, aham brahmevasmi. And to tell this, the first sutra comes, athato brahma jigyasa. So, athataha atmanaha brahmatvam jigyasa. Athataha, I will explain what is the meaning of athataha. Athataha atmanaha, sixth case, atmanaha brahmatvam jigyasa. Okay. So, as if the superior nature or a real nature of I has been mentioned. And all other science, what they do? They work on living, improving the standards of living. Earlier you used to have only small phone. Now, the landline. Now we have cell phone. Earlier there was no cars. Now we have very high, fast cars are there. So living has been made. I am living now. That means I can do work faster. I can enjoy the world more. The moving I, all effort is for this liver I. Science is making for this liver I. He can communicate faster, he can commute faster, he can have medicines faster. But the problem of this I was living only. Instead of removing the living, the science gave more opportunity for living. Instead of treating and removing the living aspect itself, Kuthara attacking the root, it has given more ingredients from outside so that it has more charm of living and more charm of doing, more charm of going to other countries, more charm of having an object. It has thrown into more stronger living now. Earlier I was having less object, I had less desires. Now more objects are there. In our childhood we never saw cell phones. There is no thought of cell phone. Now children of 5 year, they have phones now. Now their want is increasing now. We had simple bags, school bags. Simple school bag we had. There was no calculator in that. One very ordinary, what is it called, where you put pencil and pencil box. Now that pencil box is outdated now. Now it's a very fancy pencil box will be there. Now it has become expensive and more difficult to live now. There was a time there was no fridge in the houses. There was no fridge. There used to be a pot in which the water was filled. That was much more healthier. The pot. Now fridge is there. What was luxuries once upon a time has become dire necessity now. And everything has facilitated the pace of living is faster. I want this. And you don't understand, the basic problem was living only. And here is where Vedanta comes to correct us. He said, you don't become living, you are life. And you are not ordinary life, you are infinite life. So in the infinite life, living is appearing in you. I am a life in which living is an appearance. This is the main aspect. I am not living for life. I am not living. I am living. I am not living. I am life in which living is coming and going. Living is an incidental appearance on me. This is the main topic. Now coming on to the first sutra. Please repeat after me. This is page 28. Athatah Brahma Jigyasa. Loudly. Athatah Brahma Jigyasa. If you remember, Brahmasutra had 4 chapters. You go and see the whole structure of Brahmasutra. Tomorrow I will ask you. I am not asking because I don't want to give you surprises, and I also should not be disappointed. Well, I won't come tomorrow. So, you are only 3-4, they have no choice. If there are 100, 200, and one to disappear, you can't make it out. So if you remember, there were 4 chapters, and each chapter has 4 sections called Padaha. And each section has varying number of topics called Adhikaran. And each Adhikaran has sutras. Got my point? So first has chapter, then chapter has Adhikaran, and Adhikaran, first is section, then Padaha, then Adhikaran, then Sutrani. And one chapter can have many sutras or one sutra also. No. So first chapter is called Samanvaya Adhyaya, not Adhyasa. Samanvaya Adhyaya. Samanvaya means what? Consistency. I defined, I'll come back to it later on. I'm just going the topology of how the Brahma Sutra is there. Don't be afraid of Brahma Sutra, very difficult. Nothing is difficult. Just hear something. And the first path. What is the first path called? Spashta Brahma Linga Vakya Samanvaya Pada. Very short name. Again I am repeating. Spashta Brahma Linga. Spashta Brahma Linga Vakya Samanvaya Pada. This is called first path. Okay. Spashta Brahma Linga Vakya Samanvaya Pada. I will elaborate later on. Just you can jot down. Later on we will see each aspect. So each Adhikaran has been given a topic based on the first sutra of that topic. And because in this Adhikaran, first sutra is Athato Brahma Jigyasa, and therefore this is called Jigyasa Adhikaran. Jigyasa Adhikaran. And this Adhikaran has only one sutra. This particular that. And you should know slowly what is that. Okay. So how we will study that? I will make you underline the important lines of the Brahma Sutra, but I am not going word by word because I have already gone through it. 4 sutras we have seen word by word in our Vedanta course. But I will give you what is the main thing mentioned in an easy and more understandable language. So we will analyze what is the general meaning of the sutra. First step will be like that. Then what is the word meaning of the sutra? So one is called Samanya Vichar, other is called Shabda Vichar. And third we will see Upasanghar, what is the phal or the conclusion of the sutra, general remark, anything else which is coming here. So this will be the modus operandi how we will read and understand each sutra. I want at least you should be familiar with these sutras. It should not appear as something foreign thing I've never heard. This should not be the way. We should hear and understand that. Now coming on to the general analysis of the first sutra. So first sutra is the introduction to Brahma Vidya. It is called Upodghat. Upodghat, which is a link. Link is neither inside nor outside. Link is that which connects the outside with inside. Is a link. Got my point? Link is neither inside nor outside. Link is a connector of outside with inside. So this is the link. Like the key is there. Key. Or the door is there. It is not inside outside. It is a connector to the house. That is called the link. Okay, like somebody knows you also and somebody knows someone whom you don't know. Then you need a link. Contact. I know some very big donor, but big donor doesn't know me at all. Neither I know him. So somebody is there in between who knows both of us. So he will introduce me to that person. Then he is a link between that. And this is called Anubandh. What you heard in Vedanta Ramanam, Anubandh Chatushte, Anubandh Chatushte, everybody was speaking on Anubandh Chatushte. And some people prepared and the topic was changed. They got quite disappointed. From Anubandh they had to talk on something else. So Anubandh. So this is a introduction to Brahmasutra. Okay. What is that Anubandh? Anubadyate shastrena iti anubandha. That which is attached to the Shastra. It is called appendix. Appendix. Pre-appendix. Generally appendix is outside. After the book is appendix. But this is a pre-appendix. Before you know that, my time is over. So tomorrow we will see. Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari